I am making my case why E. Jean Carroll had no relationship with the President of the United States. This is starting to smell. You know, it seemed reasonable on my first video where I go, he said, she said. I just don't see it. And I'm not trying to make fun of her. And, you know, I've seen people call her ugly and say he'd never be with you. Well, maybe you don't know. It's not so much about the beauty thing at all. It's really more like, I'm going to get into trouble. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where the happy patriots are. Happily defending Trump on this one. And I don't want to give E. Jean Carroll a run into the deal, but man, it doesn't look good. It just stacks up against her. This isn't about my preferences either. I'd smell a rat even if she was on my side, a conservative evangelical doing this. I'd just go, no, I don't believe you. Here's the Daily Beast coming after Elise Stefanik, who could be our next vice president and therefore the next president. Stefanik goes full MAGA on E. Jean Carroll at a Trump event. This slimy little liberal newscaster tries to entrap Elise Stefanik, trying to get her to abandon Trump, and watch how she stands by his side in this video. Listen.
Leadership, which is President Trump at the top of the ticket.
How do you grapple with standing by his side while the jury is debating how much to award E. Jean Carroll for being sexually abused by Donald Trump?
These are witch hunts against President Trump, whether it's the bogus, whether it's the bogus case from Tish James, who is a radical prosecutor. They are all witch hunts against President Trump.
This is what the lazy journalism does. They just repeat that case going, you know, how do you explain? Are you going to stand with him when he's on trial? You know, for he's already been convicted? She goes, no, it's a witch hunt. She's basically saying it's a lie. You're not obliged to believe what a jury of Democrats under a Democrat judge say about a Republican opponent who's top of the ticket. Okay. That's the true bias of all this stuff. It's just politics, is all Elise Stefanik is saying. She's not playing their game.
No, of course not.
The jury found that Donald Trump sexually abused her.
Witch hunts against President Trump, and the reason why is because he is pulling ahead of Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is the weakest candidate we've ever seen. No, I disagree. No, I don't believe that, and I support President Trump. And you know what? The media is so biased. This is just another example of the media being out of touch.
E. Jean Carroll, it's not me. It's not the media. It's a jury that found that he sexually abused E. Jean Carroll.
Again. The media is so out of touch with the American people.
You can go back and rewind this a couple seconds if you want to see this again. He said, it's not the media. He's a journalist. It's not the media. It's the jury. And she goes back and just ignores. She goes, no, the media is on a witch hunt. She corrects him. This is more about the media than about the jury going after Trump.
Like 2016, you are going to see the American people speak out loudly and clearly with their vote. We are so tired of the biased media shilling for Joe Biden every single day. And the reality is President Trump is going to win. He's going to restore rule of law, and he's going to restore respect for the Constitution in this country.
We are so tired of the media. America, is she right? She's speaking with authority. We're tired of them. We're tired of their lies and we're tired of their bias. They've discredited themselves. This guy's trying to sit there with a straight face and push this agenda. You must believe the jury about E. Jean Carroll. And instead, we're going to push back and go, no, we don't. How about she's a lunatic and a liar and a gold digger? Here's Donald Trump posting old E. Jean Carroll tweets on Truth Social that they would not allow in the court case. Gee, I wonder why. Here she is this is from 2014. There's no such thing as a slut, only sexual geniuses. Here's another one this is from 2015. How do you know your, quote, unwanted sexual advance, unquote, is unwanted until you advance it? Her whole vocabulary is full of the sexualization of abuse. She might have made this whole thing up just to turn herself on because she is that weird or weirder. Here's the last one from E. Jean Carroll. This is from December of way back in 2011. Marilyn Johnson, you have not lived until you've sat by your mother watching the anal RAPE scenes in Girl with the Gone Tattoo. Now, this is after she would have been victimized. Does this sound like a traumatized victim to you? Now, I admit that women don't have to act like a victim their whole life, but I've seen nothing in her story that shows any outward display of fear, sadness, regret, being victimized. Now, here's Trump when they showed him this old black and white picture that supposedly has he and E. Jean Carroll in it from the late 80s. It's like 1987 or 89 or something. I don't know when it was, but Trump can't even recognize her. They ask him, who's the woman in the picture? And he thinks it's Marla Maples, his wife, his ex-wife.
I think so, yes.
And do you recall when you first saw this photo?
At some point during the process, I saw it. That's, I guess, her husband, John Johnson, who was an anchor for ABC. Nice guy, I thought. I mean, I don't know him, but I thought he was pretty good at what he did. I don't even know who the woman. Let's see. I don't know who. It's Marla.
You say Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla. Yeah, that's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to? No.
Here.
Carroll.
Oh, is that?
The person you just pointed to was
I
E.
see.
Jean Carroll.
Who is that? Who is this?
Point, your wife. And the woman on the right is your then wife.
I don't know.
Ivana?
This was the picture. I assume that's John Johnson. Is that
That's Carroll.
Carroll? Because it's very blurry.
Here's the picture Trump was looking at. So there's Trump on the far left, and then that's E. Jean Carroll right in front of him with her husband. Okay. And they pointed to her going, who is she? And he goes, that's Marla. That's Marla Maples, my wife. And then he looks over to the lady on the right. Who's this? They're like, no, that's Marla on the far right, your wife. That they're going, their big gotcha question is, we've got the photo with you and her proving that you know her. He clearly doesn't know her. He has no idea who this woman is. This is the New York cover. I finally found it. The thing about the dress and the jacket. Okay. I don't know how I missed this yesterday, but I tracked it down. So now it'll all make sense to you. Here's the cover of New York Magazine when E. Jean Carroll was promoting her book. This is what I was wearing 23 years ago when Donald Trump attacked me in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room. That's quite a headline. And the only problem is that dress jacket wasn't made until after when she claimed the attack happened. So even if you're going to lie, at the very least, you should get the right year on your jacket. So her side demanded they remove this from the court, that they redact it so that the jury never has to see it. So just this blatant public lie alone is scrubbed out of the court. The jury will not be able to see what you're seeing right now to make a judgment. Why? Let's get back to more unfairness. I brought up this tweet. This is a guy who's repeating the dialogue from the court case that shows the judge the way that he treats. Okay, here's the first one. This is Elena Haba, Trump's lawyer, says, Miss Carroll, have you ever said anything you regretted on national television? And of course, E. Jean Carroll says yes. And then Carroll's lawyer says, can we have a sidebar, please, to the judge? And the judge, Kaplan, says yes. So he grants them a sidebar. Whispered sidebar ensues. Okay, now this just shows how Kaplan is giving E. Jean Carroll's lawyer what she wants. Now let's go down here to the next exchange when Haba requests a sidebar. And they're back. Elena Haba, have you deleted text message and not just emails? And then E. Jean Carroll says, when I see threats, I delete them. And then Elena Haba says, can we have a sidebar about this? And the judge Kaplan says, no. So E. Jean Carroll's sidebar, yes, you can come. And then Elena Haba's sidebar, no, you can't. You're unreasonable. He treats her like dirt. Anyway, look at these two women up here in the thumbnail. Which one looks like Trump's type? I'm Doug in Exile.